I declare this congregation of the University of Sussex open. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you formally to this graduation ceremony. A warm welcome to our honoured guests, friends of the university, and to our faculty members and those representing the professional services here at Sussex. But my warmest welcome is to you, our graduands, and your families and friends, and also to those who couldn't make it here in person and may be catching this via live video stream. Good morning, or good afternoon, good evening, or if you're watching in the middle of the night, hey, nice pajamas. You can also follow us on Twitter, hashtag thing. It's a beautiful day here in Brighton. The sun's out, the beaches are full, just like it is for the other 364 days of the year. Sussex University was founded on modern, outward-looking principles, a forum that encourages unconventional approaches to problem solving and embraces concepts and experiences from different backgrounds, cultures, and belief systems, realizing that invention and innovation doesn't ally itself with any color or creed. Utilizing these principles, students from Sussex have gone on to high achievement in the arts, in politics, commerce, and science all around the world. And so in that light, we are particularly proud to be welcoming graduands representing over 85 different nations at these ceremonies. But back to you and today. Today marks a watershed in your life story so far. The volume marked the academic years. Some of you will be going on to further academic study, but for the majority, the conclusion of this ceremony will bring to a close your formal education. A story that began all those years ago on that first day of nursery or kindergarten as you cried with confusion as your parents abandoned you, and they pretended to cry and went home and had a party. Through all those years of early school where you brought home your art, splodges of misshapen paint with bits of glitter and cotton wool stuck to them that your family treated like it was a Jackson Pollock and stuck on the kitchen wall. And over the years, you continued to bring home these pastel abominations, and it's safe to say that your families treated all of them as a load of Pollocks. Then came the joy of the teenage years, growing bones, hormones, sarcastic tones, mobile phones. And then there came the pressure of all those exams that would determine your future. And partying too hard, drinking too much, not enough sleep, relationships, rejection, confusion, and then came Sussex. And the same again. No, of course, it was gentle study and juice bars and chess clubs and knitting classes and the occasional ice cream on the beach. I suppose what I'm trying to highlight with all of that is really the momentous journey that you've been on. I know that many of you would have had to deal with plenty of challenges to get here, dealing with financial debts, loss of loved ones, illness, juggling personal responsibilities, and yet you prevailed. You did it. You're still here. And we're still here too. Although these continue to be uncertain, austere times, Sussex looks forward to dealing with the challenges of remaining competitive, relevant, and appropriate on the world academic map. In this last year, a survey in the Daily Telegraph found that Sussex students are the most likely to be thinking and working on their future careers early in their studies. Sussex scientists have launched the B app so we can better understand and reverse the trend of their decline. Sussex academics have developed the Mappiness app to build up a map of where and when people are at their happiest. For me, it was the Caribbean 2001, but since I'm married now, I can't say any more for legal reasons. But you're probably thinking at this point, can you please stop talking now, and can we get on to the Vice-Chancellor's address and the ceremony? All we want to do is to get across the stage without losing our hats and tripping over and landing in the lap of someone in the front row. And what a choice of laps you have here today. It's like the sequel to Les Miserables. Les Miserables 2, a little more miserable. And finally, on a technical note, you haven't actually got your degrees yet, and you getting one may just depend on how much love you show me when you come up here to get it. I can make it clearer for you. No love, no degree. Be such a shame to screw up at this late stage, wouldn't it? Family and friends, just a note to you, feel free to whoop, applaud, make some noise, and generally embarrass your loved ones as they come up here. I like to think of this as payback time. Graduands, this is a celebration, so feel free to express who you are and your joy within the bounds of common decency and legality, of course. I call upon the Vice-Chancellor to address the congregation.
Chancellor, Deputy Vice-Chancellor of the University of Brighton, Madam Mayor, graduands, ladies and gentlemen, les miserables, good morning. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This is not promising, Chancellor. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. Much better, much better. Let me say that it's a real pleasure to add my welcome to this summer graduation ceremony. Graduation is a highlight of the academic year and the time when we on stage and family and friends in the auditorium can truly indulge in your success. Although graduation has its formal aspects, you may have noticed that we've made a bit of an effort to dress up for the occasion. As the Chancellor has indicated, it's a time to relax, have fun, and, as he says, do all you possibly can to embarrass your loved ones as they walk, run, trip, dance across the stage. We actually have a book, we run a book on who is the noisiest audience. So let that be a challenge to you. But before we get into the main business of the day, I thought I should just say something about our university. Sussex has had a very good year, despite having to tussle, like all universities, with the massive changes that are occurring in response to the present government's approach to the funding of higher education. During the past 3 years, Sussex has grown in size by about 1,000 students each year during these last 3 years. The university continues to be a very popular destination to UK, EU, and overseas students. And it's not surprising, therefore, that we are graduating more students at these summer ceremonies than ever before. Well over 2,500 of you during the next few days. A very large number of different nationalities will be represented, and a very broad spectrum of ages, from the youngest, I believe, 19 years of age, up to the ripe old age of 77. But of course, in 40 years' time, that will be 10 years inside the normal retirement age. Formal education, as you can see, is something that extends across at least 6 of Shakespeare's 7 ages of man. We're currently preparing the university's next strategic plan, which will guide our development during the next 5 years. We believe strongly that the university should continue to grow, a view endorsed by the university's Senate and our Council. Why do we think this is right? For me, there are 3 main reasons. Firstly, we believe that the Sussex experience is still distinctive, and we want more students to share that experience with us. As our student numbers increase, our academic faculty, our lecturers and professors, our teachers and researchers will also grow. For example, in the last 5 years, we have recruited more than 50 additional new professors and have promoted a similar number of our own academics to become professors in the university. This will support our ambition to expand the university's research capability and ensure that we continue to compete in the global research community and be certain that we keep our place in the world's top 100 universities. Finally, being larger, we gain the benefits of scale, which includes financial resilience. This has never been more important in this economically uncertain world. We've had a very busy year. We continued to celebrate our 50th anniversary, including overseas events in the USA, China, and Hong Kong. We've raised more than 3/4 of our £50 million 50th anniversary campaign target and invested in our campus estate. I'd like to tell you about some of the other successes during the past year, but one thing I've learnt since coming to Sussex is that people seem to like me more the less I speak. So we've put together a short film which illustrates some of the highlights of the year. Can I offer my very special thanks to Rob Reed, Carrie Prue, and all the team in our communications directorate who were responsible for the video. Sussex continues to strive to improve its position in national and international league tables, and we're delighted to remain in the top 20 universities for our teaching, as assessed by you, our students, in the National Student Survey. This was confirmed by a recent review by the Quality Assurance Agency when we passed with flying colours. Thanks to both students and staff who were responsible for ensuring that excellent outcome. In parallel with the growth in students and academic faculty, we're continuing to develop the campus to a quality that we believe will provide an unparalleled experience for our students and staff. At the beginning of the year, as you saw in the film, we opened the new Jubilee building, the new home for business management, economics and SPRU. We are refurbishing our theatre complex to create the new Attenborough Centre for Creative Arts and giving another of our newer buildings, the Freeman Building, a serious makeover to provide a new home for our rapidly growing School of Law, Politics and Sociology. Both of these buildings will reopen next year in 2014. But we're not finished yet. We're planning to renew the Science Estate, and some of that, again, you picked up in the visionary picture for 2018. We're planning more student residential accommodation so that we can ensure that future students will have high-quality, affordable accommodation on campus. We're developing an investment plan for the campus of more than £200 million over the next 5 to 8 years. Despite these ambitions, we're aware that there are some significant challenges ahead. As the Chancellor said, we're all too aware of the heavy financial pressures faced by our students and very concerned that these pressures are only going to increase in the future. I'm particularly concerned now about the funding of master's programs and postgraduate research. We've created additional scholarships for Sussex graduates. The Sussex Graduate Scholarships are available to all Sussex graduates who achieve a first or a 2-1 in their undergraduate honours degree and wish to proceed directly to full-time postgraduate taught study at Sussex. In addition, we've created over 100 Chancellor's Master's Scholarships for UK and EU nationals who receive a first from a UK university, any UK university. These initiatives, which are additional to our international scholarships, are designed to show that Sussex, as a world-leading research-intensive university, is committed to retaining and attracting highly qualified and motivated postgraduate students, irrespective of their background. We're particularly proud of our first-generation scholars scheme that supports more than 1,000 students each year from families that have never had someone who has benefited from a university education. Many of us are still concerned that incoming students from overseas are regarded as immigrants by the Home Office, and that the visa application process remains excessively bureaucratic and is acting as a major disincentive to potential applicants. We continue to make the case to the Home Office and the UKBA that our international students are not immigrants. We welcome you as highly valued guests, indeed, paying guests. You make a vital intellectual contribution to our university and through your presence create a global community on campus. After graduation, we believe you are our best ambassadors when you return home to your own country. Now a few words to our graduates. You, our students, are the heart of the university. Without you, quite simply, the university would not exist. Sussex has always strived to create a learning and research environment that encourages independent thought, which hopefully allows you to leave the institution with more questions than answers. And finally, a few words to families and friends. Firstly, can I join the Chancellor in thanking you for your support that you have given your sons and daughters, your partners, your spouses, and in some cases your parents and other family members during their time at Sussex. For it has helped to make today a reality. Many of you will have made great sacrifices to help your loved ones get to this point today, and the university fully recognises the important role that you have played and offers our sincere thanks. So, graduates, I hope that your experiences at Sussex have extended way beyond the limits of your degree, and that they will have gone some way to prepare you for the future. Knowing the current challenges that recent graduates have in getting appropriate graduate-level jobs, we've invested heavily in our careers and employability services, including a leadership accelerator program. There are early signs that this investment is beginning to pay off, with more Sussex graduates getting jobs last year than the year before. We're fully aware of the financial sacrifice that you have made to get here today, But remember, in those darker, gloomier moments, that the evidence is clear. You graduates, in the long run, are happier, healthier, and wealthier than their peers who did not have a university degree. I hope also that you will be able to take our values such as freedom, tolerance, equality, social responsibility, and honesty forward into the next stage of your life. I would ask you to remember the multinational community that you have created here at Sussex and build on those experiences as you go out into the wider world. Sadly, we still live in a world where poverty, catastrophe, and conflict still abound. We all have the responsibility to play our part to promote societal change, and I look to you and your Sussex experience to go out in the world and really make a difference. And as you think about the new life that will begin to unfold when you leave the ceremony today, I ask you to keep some time and space in your heart for Sussex. Remember, you will always be part of the Sussex family, and it is likely that we will need you in the future, perhaps more than you will need the university. You will, of course, be joining an illustrious group of alumni, many of whom have made major contributions to the worlds of politics, government, academia, creative industries, business, international development, and so on. You name it, and you will find Sussex graduates worldwide changing lives, making an impact. Our alumni relations team will make sure that we stay in contact wherever you might be in the future. And for those families here today with previous generations of Sussex alumni as members, please call by at the alumni desk and say hello. And finally, let me take this opportunity to say again how proud of you we are and offer you our sincere congratulations. I wish all of you every good fortune for your chosen futures and hope that your experience at Sussex has gone some way to prepare you for the next stage of your life. My very best wishes to you all. I call upon the head of the School of Life Sciences, Professor Lawrence Pearl.
Chancellor, I will now present to you graduands from the School of Life Sciences. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Biochemistry, Samuel Brooke. Joanna Elms. Christian George. Also awarded the school prize for the best performance in biochemistry, Jamie Kingdom. Congratulations, Jamie. Selina Lee. Kimberly Martin. Sangjan Newton. Jack Pocock. Alina Tyson. Francesca Timms. For biochemistry with a sandwich year, Joy Askew. Rebecca Caesar. Elliot Chapman. Catherine Davidson. Charlotte Parfit. Jamie Rudman. For biology, Emma Alston. Alicia Cardona. Rebecca Clare. Isabel Cook. Ryan Duhigg. Laura Fletcher. Jade Foster. Richard Gow. Marion Grenier. Amber Heath. Serian Lancaster. Isabel Martinez de Rituerto. William Miles. Also awarded the school prize for the best performance in biology, Amy Moffat. Emma Otlet. Louise Outlaw. Rachel Pegler. Helen Philo. Jonathan Ryan. Lorna Sheriff. Daisy Shirley. Gabriella Smith. Penny Sparks. Hannah Staniforth. Lucy Tickner. Hannah van Hesteren. Jake Warrington. Hazel Watts. Thomas Williamson. Thomas Woodall. For biomedical science, Adam Austin. Douglas Bainbridge. Alexander Bruce. Amy Cleese. Michael Cole. Sophie Connor. Eleanor Coote. Mark Dixon. Rima Ibrahim. Julia Epps. Clara Fark. Christopher Farrell. Rihanna Grant. Jenna Harris. Hannah Herring. Chloe Hopkins. Francesca Hunt. Joshua Hutton. Jeffrey Ingram. Lara Kiziltuna. Annie McPherson. Abigail Moore. Alexander Milone. Kim Novis. George Oates. Osigali Ojobo. Nelly Pasikowski. Bethany Padden. Chelsea Pateman. Diane Peltzer. Jessica Pinnell. Matthew Reed. Lucinda Rickwood. Safi Robinson. Jacob Schofield. Jack Skelton. Andrea Smith. Also awarded the school prize for the best performance in biomedical science, Lucy Taylor. Roseanne Thomas. Hannah Thompson. Marty Westhoff. Jennifer White. Bridget Ray. For chemistry, Matthew Barrett. Tapas Deb. Also awarded the school prize for the best performance in the Chemistry BSc, Aidan Fisher. Max Gross. Nurul Hasnan. Kaylee Logan. James Martin. Fatin Mod Nadri. Christopher Radu. Nurasmira Rahim. Tristan Spicer. James Venus. For Ecology and Conservation, Christopher Ackleton. Also awarded the school prize for the best performance in Ecology and Conservation, Joseph Cooper. Samuel Crofts. Lucy Dan. Jessica Jennings. Angelica Coble. Rasan Lewis Cole. Oh. Not there. Not there. Do apologise, not there. Tristan McFarlane. Very much there. Emily Martin. Mark Spate. For Human Sciences, Hannah Cutler. Francesca Greetham. Harry Joannou. For Medical Neuroscience, Tiffany Ansari. Ankita Batra. Leola Cruden-Smith. Also awarded the Scientifica Prize for the best final year experimental project in neuroscience, Annabelle Fothergill. Emma O'Leary. Laura Ray. Jasmine Shah. Amandeep Tatra. Jason Wells. For Molecular Genetics, Lawrence Bell. Jonathan Burville. Jessica Butler. Stephanie Cutler. Jonathan Fortune. Daniel Gunton. Thomas Holmes. Nicola Stevens. For molecular genetics with a sandwich year, Lauren Maskell. For molecular medicine, Rachel Fellingham. Rebecca James. Jonathan Katunaya Kegi. Janelle Kujuk. Amy Majewski. Hannah Pryor. Grace Rake. Joshua Rizzo. Anna Schumann. For neuroscience, Alice Farrell. Livia Katz. Michael Martin. Saskia Pollock. Also awarded the school prize for the best performance in neuroscience, Christopher Poole. Sarah Shipley. Emma Warner. For neuroscience with cognitive science, Douglas Harris. Rachel Marchant. Tom Zvoits. Nicole Watkins. For the degree of Master of Chemistry in Chemistry, also awarded the school prize for the best performance in the M-Chem, Melvin Ansell. Congratulations, Melvin. Sarah Connolly. Edward Davis. Eugenia Guedes da Felicia. James Harrison. Jack Hayes. Rhiannon Jones. Jamie Laverick. Francis Longford. Also awarded the Royal Society of Chemistry Downland Prize for the Best M-Chem project, James Pankhurst. David Riley. Alison Ryder. Also awarded the Murrell Prize for the best theoretical or physical MChem project, Thomas Samuels. Congratulations, Thomas. Marketa Suvova. Scott Temple. James Webb. For chemistry with a study abroad year, Jonathan Ahmet. Abby Fryer. Kimberly Isaac. For chemistry with a sandwich year, Anna Crosby. Chancellor, I will now present to you for the degree of Master of Philosophy, Ayed Al-Nomzi. Fiona Riddle Pierce. Sudakshina Roy De Luca. Chancellor, I will now present to you for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Jean-Joseph Azizian. Congratulations. Ghazala Al-Haddad. Mohammed Barshen. John Cheeseborough.
Congratulations, John.
Chesborough. Toma Chakches. Congratulations, Toma. Guillaume Favier. Rosie Foster. Stephen Gray. Peter Minting. Lynn Robinson. Stephen Rushton. Anne-Sophie Schreers. Glenn Sheehan. Lucas Wilkins. Faranak Yadolahi. Christine Zimmerman. Congratulations. Christine. Chancellor, this concludes the list of graduands from the School of Life Sciences.
I call upon the Head of School of Life Sciences, Professor Lawrence Pearl, to present Thomas Lindahl.
Chancellor, it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Thomas Lindahl, a pioneer of DNA repair. How we are able to transmit our genetic material from generation to generation with essentially no change has fascinated and puzzled biologists since the days of Mendel and Darwin. In the early years of what we would now call molecular biology, several eminent physicists even believed that the genetic material, later shown, of course, to be DNA, must have evolved some sort of uniquely stable, almost magical quantum state that somehow could resist entropy. As a young researcher working in Stockholm in the 70s, Thomas Lindahl made a series of seminal observations that showed that DNA was far from the ultra-stable molecule that the physicists had hypothesized. He found that DNA was susceptible to a wide range of chemical reactions that could take place under normal physiological conditions that would alter the chemistry of the DNA bases and thereby change the information they encoded and thereby cause genetic mutations. Thomas showed, for example, that cytosine, the partner of guanine in DNA, could spontaneously hydrolyze into uracil, which pairs with adenine instead of guanine and thereby creates a mutation when the DNA is replicated. From careful measurements of these reactions involving DNA, Thomas showed that thousands of mutagenic changes must take place in each human cell every day, and he realized that life as we know it could only exist if cells had evolved mechanisms that could recognize and repair this constant degradation of the genetic material. And so he set out to find them. In 1974, he identified the first specialized DNA repair enzymes, uracil DNA glycosylase, and showed that it specifically recognized the presence of the incorrect base, uracil, in DNA and cut it out, initiating a repair mechanism that utilized the undamaged information in the other DNA strand to restore the original DNA sequence. 2 decades after its discovery, I had the great honor and pleasure of being able to show Thomas for the first time the atomic structure of uracil DNA glycosylase, which had just been determined in my laboratory. I have to say that was one of my most exciting days in science. Over a period of 40 years, Thomas Lindahl has been a leading figure in the field, discovering many other DNA repair enzymes and mechanisms and describing some of the key biochemical pathways that maintain genome stability. As the field has progressed, the importance of these mechanisms to human health has become very clear, with many of the genes associated with predisposition to cancer and neurodegeneration being components of the cellular response to DNA damage. From 1984 to 2006, Thomas was director of the ICRF, later Cancer Research UK, Clare Hall Laboratory, building it into the internationally preeminent centre for the study of genome stability, rivaled only, we like to think, by our own MRC Genome Damage and Stability Centre here at Sussex, to which Thomas has always been a great friend and supporter. Thomas Lindahl has been widely recognised for his scientific achievements and leadership. He's a member of the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences, from whom he received the Svedberg Prize, a foreign member of the Norwegian Academy of Sciences and Letters, the Academia Europea, the Academy of Medical Sciences, and he is a Fellow of the Royal Society, who have honoured him with their 2 most prestigious awards, the Royal Medal and the Copley Medal. Thomas is an inspirational scientist who combines quiet modesty with great passion and a great enthusiasm both for his own science and with a genuine commitment to developing the science and the scientific careers of others. These are the attributes of a truly outstanding scientist and a leader of scientific research. Chancellor, I present to you for the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa, Dr. Thomas Lindahl.
By the authority of the Senate and the Council of University, it gives me great pleasure to confer upon you the degree Doctor of Science Honoris Causa. Many congratulations, sir.
It is a great pleasure and honor to be here today. University of Sussex has emerged as one of the leading research institutions in my field of science. And this has not been an overnight event, so I will mention briefly some of the key players here, the way I see it. When I first came to this country over 30 years ago, I came down to Sussex as one of the first things that I did to talk to the scientists here. There was Bryn Bridges, who was then director of the cell mutation unit, which still happily exists, and Sidney Shall in biochemistry had done outstanding work. At the cell mutation unit, there was also particularly clever younger scientist, Alan Lehmann. He is still here, and he has done an outstanding career in the meantime. He is very well recognized internationally in the DNA repair field, where he has been a leader for many years. A few years later, the unit here in Sussex became even stronger when Dr. Penny Jeggo decided to move from London to Sussex, and she took up a post here. I've always followed the work of Penny with admiration because she can make the rather esoteric details of DNA repair to the key to understand some human inherited diseases. So she has made a great contribution that way. In fact, I think of her as a role model for a female scientist. There were also somewhat younger scientists, not so young anymore here. There were Keith Caldecott and Tony Carr, who is now the director of the center and is one of the brightest scientists anywhere. Keith Caldecott was a postdoc for some years in my laboratory in London, and he came over initially as a very self-assured young man. First, I thought almost on the border of arrogance. But I very soon realized that when we had arguments, discussions, Keith was usually right and I was wrong. So I think that is a good model for all the graduates here. Don't hesitate to talk back to the boss, wherever you go now. But it does help if you have done a little bit of groundwork first, so that you can feel reasonably confident that you are right and he or she is wrong. The final colleague here in Sussex I wish to mention, I didn't know. I got a phone call out of the blue one day in London from Lawrence Pearl, who introduced himself and said, "We have solved the structure of the enzyme you are working on, and we can explain how it works." So that was major progress. So I went down the next day to Birkbeck College, which is where Lawrence was then, and he spent a couple of hours explaining how his 3D model actually provided a solution to some of the research problems we had been worrying about. And he did this in a very gracious and informed way. So that was also for me a very pleasant day. I think the customary conclusion of a brief presentation like this is that I should wish the University of Sussex success for the future. But this almost seems unnecessary because, at least in my field, University of Sussex is already a great success. Internationally and certainly national. I can't think of a better laboratory in this field in Britain than here. So the question is now, what is the university going to do with this success? And I will leave you with that to think about. Thank you.
I call upon the Dean of the Brighton and Sussex Medical School, Professor John Cohen.
Chancellor, I'll now present to you, for the degree of Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery, Faizara Zoe Moreniki Aka. Vidi Adukia. Rua Albedairi. Zayed Ali. Over there. Emily Andrew. Laura Anstis. Edwin Armitage. Charlotte Ashworth. Rachel Atkinson. Olivia Axton. Jessica Axton. Morgan Bailey. Sarah Barron. Amy Bateman. Louise Beard. David Bentley. Sophie Binks. Julian Birch. Imogen Bone. Richard Balding. Christopher Boyson. Charlene Bradshaw. Jessica Buckle. Emily Budge. Charlotte Burley. Alison Burridge. Francis Butcher. Tobias Buxton. Leon Campbell. Naomi Carter. Benjamin Challoner. Ki Chan. Yao Chong. Taya Collins. James Conway. Natasha Krier. Nicola Kronbach. Alex Cumberworth. Nicholas Daines. Harriet Davies. Mark Davis. Amy Dawson. Eleanor de Samares. Luke Dennehy. Rohan Desai. Phuket Ertansel. Luke Farmery. Jason Fejani. Emma Finley. Francesca Floor. Samuel Fosker. Miles Gandolfi. Ashkay Garg. Rebecca Gates. James George. Francis Germain. Hui Go. Sophie Goldstein. Rosalie Goodacre. Dipesh Gopal. Stephanie Gunaris Shannon. April Gandry. Ewan Gourlay. Alexander Graham. Siobhan Graham. Catherine Green. Elizabeth Griffiths. Birkin Hack. Ashley Hacken. Simon Hall. Camilla Hathaway. Giles Hawkes. Sarah Hewitt. Katie Hogg. Rebecca Hollington. Rebecca Holman. Fuad Hook. Nurjana Ithmin. Roseanne Ives. Kate Jarrett Peat. Hannah Jones. Naomi Jones. Alex Joyce. Dev Catteray. Matthew Kellum. Connor Kenny. Adam King. Rachel King. Ludmila Kishikova. Ruth Kwong. Peter Legg. Kevin Lichtenstein. Claire Livings. Tarunan Loganathan. Thomas Lynch. Nigel Mabure. Imran Mahmood. Yasmin Mahmood. Rachel Malbon. Yvonne Mangan. Christopher Martin. Well done. Elizabeth McLennigan. Liam Mealy. James Meagan. Hayley Miller. Lynn Moe. Kishan Musai. Natalie Murphy. Vishal Nawari Tarachandani. Alia Nazli. Joseph Norris. Mohammed Obedat. Benjamin Offer-Jones. Stephanie O'Keefe. Nancy O'Neill. Thomas O'Neill. Zoe Ottaway. Amor Patel. James Pierce. Ryan Perry. Pleasure. Ellie Pilabaki. Harriet Pomeroy. Janani Pragashan. Stephanie Premachandran. Charlotte Price. Rhea Pugh. Alina Richards. Annalie Robertson. Raquel Romero Perez. Rakshita Rupleka. Sophie Ross. Eleonora Schaefer. Liam Schneider. Roger Sepping. Farah Shah. Gitika Shah. Hamish Sinclair. Jimmy Sue. Matthew Smith. Rebecca Smith. Sir Preet Somal. Laura Stutterford. Sarah Taylor. Tharamagajan Thamachandra. Thank you. Catherine Torup. Maya Tickle Painter. Claire Tiley. Amy Thomsett. Sabrina Turner. Tessa van der Kleij. Rishi Verma. Christopher Whitworth. Adam Wood. Xiao Yong. For the degree of Master of Science in Global Health, Solodoya Ajiboye. Anthony Boniface. Chancellor, I'll now present to you for the degree of Doctor of Medicine, Joanna Stoker. Chancellor, I now present to you for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Christian Apfelbacher. Philip Thompson. Vice-Chancellor, we have one final award to make today for Ryan Lippert, who sadly died before completing his degree programme. Today is a very special day for everyone in the room. It's a day for celebrating what has already been enjoyed and achieved, and for looking forward to further happiness and success. Against this background, it's particularly poignant to think of those who are not with us today, and important to mark their achievements and acknowledge what it means to us that they were part of our community. On behalf of BSMS, I'd like to take a moment to remember Rohit Bola, whose time with us was all too short. Sadly, Rohit died in September 2009 as a result of a brain tumour diagnosed during his first year at BSMS. His loss was felt keenly at the time, and his friends will have no doubt thought of him on many significant dates since. We remember him now. I'd also like to take a few moments to speak about Ryan Lippett. Ryan so nearly made it to be a doctor, and his death at the beginning of his final year of study rocked our small and close community. Ryan was a very popular student with friends across the year groups. As the photos show, he liked to party, but he was also serious about his studies. And when he went to Liverpool University to intercalate, he was clearly a great ambassador for BSMS. Ryan was a world traveller, open to different cultures and religions, and in tune with the spiritual side of life. He was a confidant to many, and the stories that were told in the wake of his death highlighted how readily he extended the hand of friendship, sometimes to those who might not otherwise have found it easy to fit in. Ryan had the personal and professional skills to make a great doctor, and we regret that he's not here today with the rest of his graduating class. But we must celebrate the fact that Ryan made his mark on BSMS in his time here, that he ably achieved the academic goals he was able to complete, and that he will always remain an important person within the class of 2013. I'd like to invite Ryan's mother, Maureen Lippett, and his sister, Cara, to come to accept his award of a Bachelor of Medical Science. Chancellor, that concludes the list of graduates from the Brighton and Sussex Medical School.
I call upon Professor John Cohen, Dean of the Brighton and Sussex Medical School, to present Professor Sir John Tooke.
It's a huge personal pleasure to introduce John Tooke on the occasion of his receiving an honorary degree. I first came into contact with John shortly after I was appointed Dean here at BSMS. John had become Dean at Peninsula, one of the other new medical schools, a year earlier, and together with our opposite numbers in Hull and East Anglia, we formed a sort of mutual self-help group, very necessary, I seem to remember, within the Medical Schools Council as the new Medical Schools Committee to provide each other with some much-needed moral support. It quickly became clear that John had a natural talent for leadership, and a few years later he became chair of the Medical Schools Council during a period of great turmoil in the world of medical education. The report he subsequently authored, Aspiring to Excellence, an effort to help the government extricate itself from the mess it had got itself into, has become the basis for a much improved system of postgraduate medical education. John graduated in medicine from St John's College, Oxford, and went on to become a Wellcome Trust senior lecturer in medicine and physiology, an honorary consultant physician, at Charing Cross and Westminster Medical School, before moving to the postgraduate medical school of the University of Exeter in 1987. His clinical and research interests are in diabetes and vascular medicine, and he built an internationally recognized research team in these areas, leading to the award of a Queen's Anniversary Prize to the University of Exeter and the Golgi Prize from the European Association of Diabetes for his work on the pathogenesis of diabetic microangiopathy. In 2009, he moved from Exeter to join University College London as their Vice Provost for Health, head of the UCL School of Life and Medical Sciences, and head of the UCL Medical School, where he's currently based. John was elected president of the Academy of Medical Sciences in November 2011. This is a hugely influential role in UK biomedical science, in which he has played a key role in protecting both academic medicine and biological sciences from potentially damaging cuts in funding, as well as building an enviable reputation as someone who can persuade government of the importance of sustaining support for basic research. It was no surprise to any of us when he was knighted in the 2007 New Year's Honours for services to medicine. John is one of those increasingly rare animals, a true clinical scientist, a clinician who both understands and makes pivotal contributions to basic science, whose work translates basic research into clinical practice, and who now also works on the national stage to secure and protect the future of academic medicine. Chancellor, it is a great pleasure for me to present to you, for the degree of Doctor of the University Honoris Causa, Professor Sir John Tooke.
By the authority of the Senate and the Council of University, it gives me great pleasure to confer upon you the degree Doctor of the University Honoris Causa.
Well done.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, graduates, and shall I say fellow doctors, ladies and gentlemen, may I begin by expressing my sincerest thanks to the University of Sussex for this honour and my warmest congratulations to my fellow graduates on their achievements. I must confess, however, to feeling a bit of a cheat, as I didn't, unlike you, have to do any revision for my award. Like you, however, I do realise I would not be standing here today without the support of family, friends, and colleagues. As I begin to say a few words to you, I'm reminded of the reflections of Gary Trudeau about graduation speeches. They're delivered in the belief that no graduate should be launched on the world unsedated. So I don't contribute to that belief. I'm going to be deliberately brief, but perhaps not as brief as a fellow medical school dean whose advice to his new students was, work hard, play hard, be good. On graduation of the medical students, the speech was not much longer, but the final sentiment appealed to parents and partners alike. Work hard, play hard, be good, and now get paid. Pragmatic. I thought that would please some of you. Pragmatic, perhaps, but what do I wish I'd appreciated when I started out on my career? The first is we continually underestimate the pace of change and technological development that stems from activities in the life science field. For example, gene therapy and regenerative medicine was the stuff of science fiction when I was graduating. I predict that they will become commonplace during your professional lifetimes. You'll therefore be called upon to adapt and draw on these scientific foundations and critical faculties that you've developed as part of your excellent education here, so that you can assimilate these new advances as appropriate. Increasingly, the focus will shift from can we do it to should we do it. It is inconceivable for me, for example, that during your professional career you'll not be obliged to embrace end-of-life issues and the whole field of human enhancement. Which brings me to a second related point, the power of information technology and social media will change forever the relationship between citizen and society, patient and doctor. We've seen how democratization of knowledge is driving political and social change. So too will medicine change as more knowledgeable patients express expectations far more clearly. As doctors, your skills as communicators and facilitators of shared decision-making will rely on an ever deeper understanding of health-related behavior, the art to complement the science of medicine. And for those of you graduating in life sciences, there will be an obligation to better communicate the new advances in science. If I have one piece of advice as you make this important transition, it is above all, aspire to make a difference. Everyone accepts that the development of new drugs and devices and the delivery of health services needs to be transformed if advantage is to be taken of burgeoning knowledge, unmet clinical need is to be addressed, and public expectation fulfilled in a manner that is affordable. The required innovation and commitment to improvement cannot be mandated. It can't be centrally commanded. It relies on each and every one of us in the life science and medical science community asking how we can enhance our own contribution. It doesn't mean that you will all have to get into education, research, or management, although many of you will. It does rely on you reflecting on your own practice, your own career, and posing the question, how could I do that better? Now, I have complete confidence in your ability to rise to that lofty ideal because of the superb education you've received at the University of Sussex and for the new doctors, the Brighton and Sussex Medical School under Professor Cohen's inspired leadership. It is said that education remains long after what has been taught has been forgotten. The friendships you've struck and the stimulus that you've been exposed to will serve you well as you make your own mark on the world. Make the most of your privilege and enjoy the celebrations to come. Chancellor, thank you again for the honour you've bestowed on me and for this wonderful occasion. I am truly proud to be associated with such a fine institution. Thank you.
Chancellor, I shall now present to you those graduates who are unable to be presented with their schools earlier in the ceremony. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Molecular Medicine in the School of Life Sciences, Kasim Umar Shagari. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Neuroscience in the School of Life Sciences, Gina Barreto. Chancellor, this is the point in the ceremony where you have those few moments to reflect on whether you've received sufficient love during the ceremony. And I should point out, Chancellor, that there is a rather large mark of lipstick on your left cheek, which I think bodes well for the graduands sitting out there.
You were sitting to the left of me.
I was sitting...
You sure you didn't plant it on there when I wasn't looking?
Later.
Definitely received a lot of love.
Chancellor, you have now met all the graduands being presented to you at this ceremony, and the moment has come for the formal conferral of degrees of the University of Sussex. I therefore ask you to confirm their degrees on those presented to you and to the other graduands who have indicated their wish to graduate in absentia at this ceremony.
I formally confer degrees upon all those referred to by the Vice-Chancellor. Congratulations, you've done it. So that happened. That was by far the best ceremony I've ever attended today. I have to say, seriously, I think life sciences and medical school, you may well have set a benchmark, a very high benchmark. And so far in these ceremonies for this year, you are the schools of love. I'm very, very humbled. Thank you. Congratulations to everyone, including our honoris causas as well. And just an extra thank you to Ryan's mother and sister for coming up here. I think it's the grief of losing someone before their time is specific and unique, and to overcome those feelings, to come up and still celebrate and to remind us how important it is to see things through is not a lesson lost, or should be. So thank you to them for coming up. Family and friends, some of you were truly, truly embarrassing, and you have my undying respect for that. There were various members of your family, your loved ones up here, who said, "God, that's really embarrassing." And who was it who said, "That's my family, a family of nutters"? That kind of summed it up. But you know what, students? They may well have been embarrassing today, but they have been with you every step of this way and are here today as well. So both graduates and staff, a big round for the family and friends. So as your time at Sussex draws to a close, we hope that you will keep us in your thoughts, minds and hearts, and remain connected to us as alumni. There are those present that have been associated with your success today that look upon these days with huge fondness and great pride. So please show your appreciation for your teachers, tutors and staff. Whatever your next step may be, employment, further study, or time out, I wish you the very best. in closing a ceremony, a Chancellor of a university is supposed to impart something inspiring or wise. Since I find myself neither inspiring or wise, you're all going to be getting out of here a lot quicker than you thought. However, we have paid the rent on the room for a little while longer, so I might as well share some thoughts with you. Just stuff that I've been thinking about recently. And I apologize if they come across as simplistic. You're all kind of far more intelligent and wise than me. If there are any good thoughts that come up, then I've shamelessly stolen them from someone else anyway. But I recently got to thinking about, I suppose it was those kind of, those questions about why we're here and do I have a purpose? Are Liverpool going to make the top 4 next season? That kind of stuff. And they might. And I got to thinking about, what it is to kind of be remarkable or to be heroic, to make, heroic choices and stuff like that. And the dictionary definition of a hero is someone who's admired for having courageous and noble qualities. And I thought, well, traditionally it's always, it's military feats, it's a person who rushes into a burning building, doctors who kind of go and administer in kind of war-torn areas and put themselves in danger, astronauts. I mean, I'm sure you can come up with your own examples. And the image to me of kind of courage that always comes to mind is do you remember the young man with shopping bags on his way home, presumably, that stood in front of tanks at Tiananmen Square in 1989 at the protest? It was just an ordinary guy who did something spontaneous and remarkable, and something that I thought, well, I'm not sure whether, I would be capable of doing that. And the thing was that he, like all those other kind of classic heroes, made a choice. May have been instinctive, you may have thought about it, but there was a choice, and he took responsibility for that decision. And we look at it and we define it as heroic. But then I thought, well, what if you're not in the military? What if you never pass a burning building? What if you don't come across a tank? Does that mean you can't be heroic? Not everyone is meant to be the tank guy. Not everyone is meant to be an Alexander the Great or a Marie Curie or a Gandhi or whoever. And I thought, well, classic heroism, then there's an equation here, which is the right person, but also the right circumstance and the right time. And I thought, well, what about all those billions of people who get up and go to work and raise families in a quiet, constant way? They make choices. Choices that can and do affect all of us. Some of those decisions turn out well, some of them turn out not so well, but whatever the outcome, those people are always ready to make another choice. They keep coming off the rails, which I think what life is. It's about coming off the rails and then getting back on it. And all those people, all those unsung people who kind of like get up and just go to work and raise families, come off the rails, but bloody hell, they get back on again. And they survive. And I thought, well, aren't they just being the right people for the right circumstance at the right time as well? So I think for me, I just became, well, I concluded in a way that I suppose that making choices is the heroic thing. And taking responsibility for those decisions. Anyone who's bold enough to make a choice in whatever circumstances they're given at that time, to me, is heroic. So, the choices that you've made to be here on your journey, to complete your courses, to me, is heroic. I firmly do believe that we are the sum total of our decisions, that what defines us always is what we do next. Always what we do next. It's not just what happened to us. And even if you choose to do nothing, at least that should be an active event. So please don't be a child of fate, someone to whom things happen, a slave to other people's preferences. Go out and define yourself, because you can. You've been given that gift. Never be afraid to make mistakes. Just make sure each mistake is a new one. I mean, if you keep on making the old one, then you're an idiot. I think as the Buddha said. As Thomas Edison definitely said, I failed my way to success. I mean, I started thinking, well, what's success? For some people it's making money, for some people it's doing altruistic work, achieving a work-life balance. contentedness. I mean, I don't have a problem with any of those. I think they're all valid. I think there's nothing wrong with wanting to make money, nothing wrong, certainly, with doing altruistic work. And I find kind of successful people really inspiring. But the element that I find inspiring is compassion. You know, if they're very good at what they do, and I meet a lot of people who are brilliant at what they do, I admire them, but I don't find them inspiring. I think once they inject compassion and humanity into whatever else they're doing, whether it's making money, whether it's kind of singing, whatever, that's the bit that I find inspiring. Because they may be rich, poor, you know, unsung, innocent, cynical, but it's that element of compassion, the thing that regards another person as a human being, that I find inspiring, a generosity of spirit. They make the effort to empathize, to listen, to give, not for adulation or respect, but just simply expressing who they are. As Maya Angelou, the great American poet, said, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And I thought, well, maybe that's the whole achievable point of being here then. It's to connect, to try and understand others and thereby understand yourself, to show your humanity to one other person and therefore, you know, show it to the universe. And in a word, that makes, to me, that makes you matter. Life is unpredictable. You have to roll with it, move with the flow of the water rather than spend your life fighting against it. And accept that unpredictable doesn't necessarily mean bad. It's not a byword. You may be aware that many years ago that Sussex was my first choice when I applied for universities. I didn't get in. Apparently my grades weren't good enough. So I took my business elsewhere, scraped through my degree, worked in jobs that I wasn't happy in, changed careers, and I waited till all those who were responsible for me not getting in had either retired, were in prison, were deported, Guantanamo Bay, or became just plain dead, and I got in as Chancellor. And my point is, unpredictable ain't always bad. Never waste an experience. If you're not enjoying something, then what are you learning from it? And if you're not enjoying it and you're not learning from it, then why are you doing it? Stop. Do something else. There's a story that I quite like, a little story about solutions. Sometimes, you know, the solution to a problem isn't right in front of you because it's not meant to be. It's sometimes hiding behind your next mistake. But there's a story about two mice that fell into a bowl of cream and couldn't get out. And one mouse just thought, this is just impossible. I mean, we're not going to, I gave up and drowned. And the other mouse, you know, just thrashed around and thrashed and splashed and struggled and hit the microphone and carried on struggling and splashing and crashing until all the cream had been churned into butter and he stepped out of the bowl. Sometimes the struggle is the solution. Finally, I'll leave you with two bits of advice that you can take or leave. I don't mind. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so listen twice as much as you speak. And finally, remember to have your 5 veg or fruit a day. This includes tinned stuff, raw and cooked, but the slice of lemon that you may have in your gin and tonic doesn't count. Sorry. You all made choices to get here. You made choices in completing your course, as I said. You made the choice to succeed, thus bearing out David Bowie's line that we can be heroes even for just one day. You're all amazing creative people. All you have to do now is to realize that and create that with every decision you make. I leave you with a quote from Albert Camus. When you have seen the glow of happiness on the face of a beloved person, you know that a man can have no vocation but to awaken that light on the faces surrounding him. In the depth of winter, I finally learned that within me lay an invincible summer. Be creative, dream big, be passionate, never, never give up. I wish you all happiness and good fortune in everything you do. I officially declare this graduation closed.